grandmother was a beautiful woman. Observing her, you could see that she was extremely proud and poignant, always with her head up, shoulders back, and chest out. Speaking with her, you could tell she was open, honest, and ahead of her time, ready for whatever the world came up with next. Knowing her, you could feel how vibrant, vivacious, and full of life she was, as if she always had her dancing shoes on. Loving her was a gift unto itself, a gift that so many of us have the privilege of having shared. She was one of the strongest women I've ever known, a trait that has gratefully been passed to my mother and then to me. If ever there was something troubling you, she would be there to listen or simply observe, and with the simplest of gestures, a wink and a little smile, she would make you feel as if it would all be okay. That wink and that smile stayed with her up until the very end. And as always, it was her way of letting you know that all was well and right and that it would all be okay. My grandmother and I shared many things: a love of music, an impeccable fashion sense, an appreciation for a good gin martini, which I only recently discovered under her expert tutelage, a thirst for knowledge and exciting new experiences, an affection for people and entertaining, even a birthday, we both being Leos born on August 2nd. But of the things we shared, the most important to me, and the one that will stick with me the longest, is an attraction to a man in uniform, which is not always the easiest thing. She was fortunate enough to spend almost her entire life loving and being loved by two such wonderful and extraordinary men. First, my grandfather John, and then Truman, both of whom served in the Navy during World War II. My husband Justin is currently serving in Afghanistan with the Marine Corps. Even though we may be separated by 2 generations and our wars are 65 years apart, there are certain struggles and relationships that are eternal. I frequently find myself thinking of my grandmother and her fortune of a life full of love, but not without strife, and I look to her for inspiration. Inspiration for a model of strength. I look to her for solace that others have gone before me and not only endured, but thrived. I look to her for hope that I should be so lucky in life and so lucky in love, hope that my life can be as full. Often the greatest gifts left behind by loved ones are the lessons and examples that they leave with us, gifts created by simply being who they were. My grandmother is no exception to this, and I am honored by the gift that was her life.
I made it. I have some prepared notes. Scribbling, I should say. What I really want to talk to you about is the picture on your program. This photograph was taken just this past Thanksgiving, well, the day after this past Thanksgiving. But this is not the entire picture. You see, we were at the inn at Morro Bay in the raised portion of the main dining room. In this dining room, they had very wide chairs. So we were a party of 12 for dinner, and we wound up sitting at a gigantic table. Now, Marge and I were seated at the north end of this table. Peter was seated at the other end, about a half a mile down. So what Peter did, when the picture was taken, it was taken actually of all 12 of us at the north end of this table. So here Marge was with me at her elbow, with all of her loving family directly behind her, and she kind of liked this waiter who was taking the picture, kind of handsome, young. nice looking. And even more so, her martini was only half gone. And that accounts for that Mona Lisa smile on her face. So what Peter did, he wiped away all of our faces and came up with this. He also did the collage on the back of the program. And I was part, if you read anything on the inside of the program, you know that I was part of that entire life. And I do want to thank you all for coming, and I wish you all well.